Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious low-carb cheesecake. It's definitely one of my favorite recipes, and do you hear that? My house is super quiet because my lovely neighbor next door has both kids in the backyard playing with the slip and slide and the water table, and you know what he said? I said, hey, just holler when you want me to come get them. And he said, I think they're good. You go have a nap. Now that is a good neighbor. So you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees because we're going to blind bake our crust for a little bit before we add the liquid cheesecake filling. So make sure you go turn that on right now because I forgot and I had to go do it now, and now I'm waiting. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is measure out 75 grams of pecans, which is also the same as 3/4 cups, but I use a scale for everything so I don't have to use measuring cups for anything. It's perfect. So you can just see it count out to, oh Molly, 76 works for me. So these are supposed to be crushed, so I'm going to throw them into a Ziploc bag and pound the crap out of them. Alrighty, so I've got my little Ziploc bag and I've kind of got the air out of it. I've got this mallet. And if you have a food processor, maybe that would just work even better, but I don't have. I'd use a little blender, almost like one of those, just like a one-size hand thing. But as crushed as you can kind of get it. I don't know if crushed is even the best situation, but look, see, crushed pecans, perfect. Okay, and then you need 2 1/4 cup of almond flour. So I have this almond flour, cost me an arm and a leg. I guess you can find cheaper almond flour at the bulk barn, or also Costco has a giant bag for like $18 that it cost me for this tiny bag. So go there. So I'm going to measure out in this giant bowl now 2 1/4 cups. Okay, so it's supposed to be 2 1/4 cups, which is 224 grams plus, just 1 second, plus the 1/4 cup. I don't want to do math right now. Why is baking so much math? Add 1 more 1/4 cup, which is another 28 grams, so, okay, 252. You need 252 grams. If my math's wrong on that, I'm going to be so mad at myself, but it should all work out anyways. So I've used my trusty scale. 252 grams, woo! Okay, so now I need to add melted butter and Truvia. So Truvia is a baking blend, and it doesn't affect my blood sugar at all, so I use it to make these desserts. Okay, so I'm going to use my measuring cup for this Truvia because it only gives you like measurements for half a teaspoon, and it says I need 1/2 cup of some sort of preferred sugar substitute. So I use Truvia in the crust and swerve within the cheesecake because it's more powdery and I like it. So I'm going to tell you how many grams it is of Truvia though. So the Truvia is 112 grams for 1/2 cup. So now you know. And I'm just going to get this butter in the microwave, and then we're going to add it and the pecans, and we're going to mix it all together. Alright, so I have my butter here. No, it's not any special butter. It's just butter I got at Walmart. It's actually been in my fridge for quite a while. So it's good we're getting use out of it. I need 6 ounces, which I almost got. So 6 ounces of butter is 3/4 cups. That's good enough. I'm throwing it in the microwave to melt it. I don't know. All right, so I have the almond flour, the Truvia, the crushed pecans, which, I'm sorry, they make this crust, and the melted butter is coming at ya. Oh yeah. Doesn't that look amazing? So I'm gonna mix that all up and it's gonna form a crust. So you're gonna take the crust and put it in the pan, but I'm gonna show you that next. You know what? Creating these recipes just without even making videos takes me forever, so I'm sorry if this is a long ass video for a cheesecake. All right, so now it's at this awesome consistency. I'm gonna put it in the bottom of this springform pan. Now it does call for like a 9-inch round springform pan. I think this is 10, but I use it all the time. So use whatever pan you want. Just don't go too small, don't go too crazy big, somewhere around there. So I've put the mixture into the pan and now I'm just gonna sort of stamp it down so that it's like really tight to the bottom of the pan. You can also go up the side of the pan if you don't want your base to be too thick. I usually do that, but today I think I'm just gonna make a thicker bottom base. Okay, so now that I've pressed it down and made it quite even, we are gonna put this in the oven for 10 minutes. Oh, my oven's ready, perfect. So one thing to note, oh my God, the dog won't start barking. One thing to note is that my springform pan kind of sucks. Like it doesn't have the tightest seal. So I want to, and I do, put like a tray underneath. A tray, a pan. I put a baking pan. Molly! I lose the kids and then the dog won't stop barking. Zen moment. Okay. So I put a baking pan underneath my springform pan because I've learned that it leaks. Mine doesn't have the tightest seal, and then I end up with a puddle of melted butter at the bottom of my oven, so not nice. So you might want to do that. That's just a tip. So after 10 minutes on your crust, you're going to want to tamp it down. So I use like a cup. This is fun because it's hot, right? And I sort of just smush it down everywhere, if you can all see. It'll kind of mush up, but you just have to try and get it all tamped down. And then you're going to throw it back in the oven for, I don't know how long. You just got to watch it, keep an eye on it until it gets, like starts to brown and looks not super crispy. I'll show you what it should look like. So this is what it looks like when it's sort of browned. The edges should be like a little bit brown, and it looks still to be a little puffy to me, quite puffy. I would say don't hesitate to push it down a second time because the denser the crust, the better. Okay, so I've brought out my trusty KitchenAid mixer and I'm going to add 24 ounces of cream cheese, so that's 3 of the regular size packages, and I am also going to add lemon extract. The original recipe calls for vanilla extract, but I ran out of it because I dropped it on the floor and it cracked and went everywhere, so we're going to have a lemon cheesecake today. So I'll start with that. You know, this is not the worst angle. Okay. I also just got a sliver off my KitchenAid mixer, like a metal sliver when I was picking it out, so that's not very nice. Let's use this butter. So I'm supposed to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract, but I'm going to use this stuff instead. And I don't know if lemon extract is like stronger than vanilla extract, so I'm going to go a little easy on it. So I did that. I am also going to add some lemon rind and a little bit of lemon juice, like actual lemon juice. So I have this nifty little tool here that is what you can get the rind off with. If there's another way, share it with me. But anyways, this is what it looks like when you scrape the rind off, if you can see. So it makes these little curls. Anyway, so I'm just going to put some of this into the cheesecake to make it just super fresh. Why not, right? And then I'm just going to add a little bit of juice to this. So I'm also going to use this little lemon juicer to add the juice of half a lemon, and I normally put it in upside down this way instead of the other way. Easy peasy. And the last thing I have to add is the sweetener. So I do prefer to use a powdered sweetener. This is Swerve. It's like my favorite sugar replacement product. Definitely, it's so smooth. Sweetener is one of those things that it's like as much as you want to taste. If you like things really sweet, you can have a ton. I'm just gonna, it's supposed to be 3/4 cups. I'm gonna mix roughly that amount in because I don't find Swerve to be overly strong. So that should be perfect. I have to add 3 eggs, and I add them one at a time. I always crack them one at a time because, well, if I put all 3 in here anyways, I might end up with eggshells in it. So I'm just gonna add this 1 egg at a time. And we have to add 3 in total. Speed this up a little bit. All right, now that we have our 3 eggs added and incorporated, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of heavy cream and stir on low. You wanna make sure that there's absolutely no bubbles, like the less amount of bubbles, the better at this point. So we're not trying to make like a sort of frothy thing. All right, let's do it. So a 1/4 cup of heavy cream is actually 60 mils. If you have a handy scale like I do. So we're just going to add that in and let this incorporate. And I'll give it a good stir at the end. But that will be the end of our filling. And just a quick tip, especially if you're using a KitchenAid mixer, make sure that periodically you scrape the sides because everything tends to get stuck around the sides and then it doesn't get mixed or incorporated properly. So now you just need to add your filling into your crust and throw it in the oven. So here you can see I've dropped it in. It's already starting to sort of melt on here. Anyways, cover the whole crust. Try to get it nice and even, and then, yeah, pretty good. So you're going to want to reduce the heat of the oven to 325 degrees before you put the cheesecake in the oven. I just screwed this up. So reduce temperature, put the filled crust in the oven at 325 degrees for 10 minutes. Then you're going to reduce, after 10 minutes, you're going to reduce the oven to 300 degrees, and it's going to be another 30 or 35 minutes until the cheesecake is just set in the middle, like just set. All right, so I just took the cheesecake out of the oven, and you can see that it's, cooked in the middle. It's not liquidy anymore. I was trying to cook a pizza at the same time, so I had to kind of switch the temperature around. So hopefully it turns out okay. So you're just gonna leave it on your counter to cool. And then when it's cooled, you're gonna wanna throw it in your refrigerator. Anyways, let me know what you think about this recipe. And if you found the cheesecake enjoyable, you could add whipped cream to it. And check out my blog for the macros on this.